Hello once again, Niner Faithful, and welcome back to another episode of 49ers Playbook on the channel that's trying to answer the whys and hows of the game. This past Sunday, the 49ers continued their hot start, absolutely dominating on offense, scoring touchdowns on 5 out of 6 drives. It was a record-setting day in a number of ways. Franchise record for consecutive regular season games, scoring 30 or more points, actually best in the NFL since 1970. Christian McCaffrey broke Jerry Rice's record for consecutive games with a touchdown, and Brock Purdy broke Steve Young's record for single game completion percentage. What a game Brock Purdy had. He had one incompletion. The game looked good on the broadcast, but as I jumped into the film, it looked even better. So what we're going to do in honor of the record-setting day by Brock Purdy is we're going to cover every single dropback in this first video. And then we'll look to get another video out covering the run game and the good and not so good from the defense. But on a day when Brock Purdy looked so good, we have to check it out. Pretty much how anyone would for you with how good you'll look if you head over to manscaped.com and try out their newest grooming tool, the Handyman. It's a premium electric razor that has everything you've come to expect from Manscaped products. It's waterproof so you can take care of all your shaving needs in the shower. It's got high quality stainless steel foil blades. Manscaped's legendary skin-safe technology is small enough for any on-the-go shaving just in case you're running a little late and need to get taken care of on the go, and has ultra-fast charging. In just 5 minutes, you can get up to an hour of runtime. Check out the Handyman. It's there for all your shaving needs. Your cheeks will thank you. You can find this and so much more at manscaped.com, and you can use promo code JD49 to get 20% off and free shipping. That's a golden deal. Again, that's manscaped.com and promo code JD49. You're watching Johnny Dell's Football Academy. So this first play wasn't actually counted as a play because there was a defensive penalty, but we're going to see something that will pop up a number of times and will set up a big play later in the game. We first start out with motioning Debo across, and with no one traveling, it looks like zone coverage. With a single safety, this has all the signs of cover 3 zone. We're going to have a sail concept off play action with Ayuk running a go route, Juice on a deep out, and Debo in the flat. It's a 3-level vertical stretch against zone. At the snap, the Cardinals shift into a defense you'll see a number of times in this game. This is going to be cover 48 invert. It's cover 4 with 8-man coverage with a safety invert. An invert is when you're going to show a safety high pre-snap and then bring them down into underneath coverage post-snap. The way Gannon plays his 4 zone, the mic to the 3 receiver side has to match vertical routes from the number 3 receiver, so you have Juice on a mismatch for a defensive holding. Remember this coverage, it'll pop up a few times. After the penalty, we followed up with a nice play to Ayuk. This is a staple Shanahan play. It's a drift concept. You'll have a run fake followed with a drift route, which is a 7-step in route. What you love about Purdy on these is that he's so decisive. He hits a play action and the ball is out in the first window, in stride, for a nice game. We're then going to get a nice off-schedule play by Purdy. So we're running a play we'll come back to again on the next play. We have a few shifts, but Arizona is going to be in a matching 3 zone, dropping 8 men into coverage. We're running a couple clearing routes, one by McLeod, one by Ronnie Bell, to set up Kittle with space for a choice route. The idea is you clear out both areas surrounding the choice route. While the linebacker is going to have inside leverage, this is a play that the choice route is determined by the coverage. In this cover 3, the hook curl is tasked with matching the seam route, which you'll see. That's why Kittle will break in on his choice. So then we come back to this play. Kyle saw how the linebacker played with inside leverage and that really Kittle could have been open on a choice out, so we'd come back with a real similar play. We'll run clearing routes with Ayuk and Kittle and have McCaffrey out of the backfield on a choice out. This time we hit CMC for a big gain to set up a touchdown. This is the stuff that Kyle is going to tell Purdy in the headset. He'll call the play in and alert to what you'll have. Next, we're going to see another real nice play and get a running back not named McCaffrey a catch. So Arizona is coming out with a 6-man front, single safety, and are in cover 3 zone. We're going to run a clearing route with Debo after a little cheat motion, and then have Kittle on a choice out. We'll then have Ayuk and Mason run an arches concept. This sets up a real nice left to right read. You'll have Kittle as the number 1, then Ayuk as number 2, then Mason as number 3. This is a horizontal stretch of the defense, and watch Purdy work the progression. Number 1 to Kittle is covered. Ayuk at 2 is covered. Moves to number 3 at Mason for a nice gain. That's stuff you love to see. Work the progression, never panics, and on time, and a great ball placement so he doesn't lead Mason into the linebacker. Then the next throw is a big one to convert on 4th down. We're going to come out in a 3-by-1 formation and motion McLeod across, and with the man traveling, reveals man coverage. While Arizona is showing a pressure look, they'll actually back out into a cover 1 lurk in 7-man coverage. But with Purdy knowing he's got Kittle in man coverage and outside leverage already, which is a little confusing considering the defender has inside help, but he knows he's going to Kittle on the choice route, and it's a big conversion on 4th down. That's so frustrating as a defense to come with 7-man coverage, get a free runner with a confusing front look, and you still give up a completion on 4th down. But so much of what you see is how well Purdy is running this offense and understanding what he's seeing. So again, this is about understanding what you're doing versus the coverage you're facing this week. The Cardinals are again in cover 3 zone, and it's about how you attack it. We're in 21 personnel with 2 backs and 1 tight end, and Juszczyk is on the line. Juice is going to run a clearing route down the seam, then you pair that with a basic route from Kittle and a drag China from McCaffrey. Remember, the hook curl has to match the seam in this defense, so you clear that out, and now you have the other hook curl in a bind. The flat defender will have to move on Debo and McCaffrey's flat action, so now you've put the 1 hook curl in a 2-on-1. If he stays inside, you're going to have McCaffrey in a vacated zone. So when Brock takes a snap, he checks the hook matching the seam, sees the other hook curl stay inside. That's what triggers the throw to McCaffrey. Some people say he should have hit Kittle late, but it's about what the defense is doing, how you're trying to attack them, and that's what's dictating the throw. As Kyle has said about Brock, there's not a lot of random stuff. He's understanding how Kyle is exploiting the coverage rules of the defense and getting the ball in your best player's hands in space. So now on the next drive, the Cardinals again come out showing cover 3 zone, and we're going to run this play we've had a ton of success with. You're going to have a spot concept to one side, and then we run Ayuk on a man beater backside. It's usually a slant, sometimes a basic, sometimes a curl. Ayuk is number 1 here, and then the concept side. Cardinals rotate post snap into this cover 48 invert, and this is great work by Purdy and Ayuk. Purdy sees the hole, and Ayuk sits down in it for a nice pitch and catch for a 1st down. We then come out and get a huge gain to Ayuk. Arizona is giving a real similar look, but now they're in a man coverage alignment. Everything pre-snap here looks like cover one man with a 5-man rush. But post-snap, Arizona is again going to come with the 48 invert. We're going to be running a Yankee concept here. Kyle calls this rider, but you're going to have Ayuk on a streak route and bring Debo on a deep crosser. The way Gannon's defense plays their cover 4, if the safeties aren't threatened vertically by the number 2 receiver, they're supposed to eye across the field. Arizona actually plays this really well. It allows them to match both routes as the safeties pick up across the field while the outside corners are matching, effectively double covering those routes. Then the 4 underneath coverage is able to take everything else away. So what did Purdy see to throw this ball? This is again understanding what he's seeing. His anticipation on this throw is remarkable. He's reading the boundary side safety. Once he sees him settle for Debo, he's letting this ball go, but also sees the other safety turned with his eyes on Ayuk. So he's going to lead Ayuk into the open space. This is such an amazing play by Purdy. To be able to read this the way he does with the pre to post snap shift of the defense, how they played it, and where he puts the ball is incredible. So if you're Gannon, you actually feel good about what you called. They call it again, but now Kyle has him out leveraged and hits him with a slide concept for another first down. So 2 plays later, Purdy gets a touchdown pass. This is again real nice work by Purdy. Gannon is a cover 4 guy, as you've seen. They're running cover 4 here again, and we're in a 4x1 set. We're going to run a double post with Ayuk and Kittle off run action, and then have Debo on a now route and McCaffrey on a little Texas route after the fake. The idea is you're looking to suck up the underneath with the run action, then get Ayuk or Kittle working on the safeties if Debo can draw one of them. Arizona plays this really well though. They have what's called the trick safety here, where the single side safety will cross cover the number 3 or first in breaking route with any depth from the other side. And that's just how they play it, as Tricks picks up Ayuk, the other safety grabs Kittle, the Mike picks up Debo, so Purdy is working 1 to 3 through Kittle, Ayuk, and Debo. But with the Mike and the safety now occupied, you get McCaffrey in breaking on his Texas route with leverage, and Purdy works to him for a touchdown. Outstanding work by Purdy. From the end zone, we can watch Purdy work the progression to McCaffrey as the number 4. Now coming out of the half, we get things going with a quick completion. We're going to run a spacing concept, which is a short curl inside paired with a flat route. And when Purdy sees the bust on defense in cover 4, he just hits it. Then after a couple runs, we hit a big play action pass. We're running a sail concept off play action. Gannon is coming with this look we've seen several times now, and again you're going to see post snap shift, this time into cover 6 invert. They're really working to change the keys for Purdy post snap. Off the run fake, Purdy reads the safety who's dropped down, sees he's inside, Debo is clearing out, and this is a great throw with great anticipation. We're talking about a 20-yard deep out from the far hash with a drop 7 yards deep because of the shotgun. And this is that throw that's always shown at the NFL Combine, and it just shows Purdy has plenty enough arm strength to make all the throws. And this is that one throw that shows if you can make all the throws. Then again, we get another real nice play from Purdy that he just makes look so routine. Arizona is again trying to show man pre-snap, and we're going to have a lion or double slant concept with Ayuk and Debo, then have Kittle and CMC on a choice clear. If you saw my episode of the JFA podcast last week, this is actually a play I mentioned as using heavily in this game, and we've seen a number of times. But it's Kittle on a clear route, and then McCaffrey on a choice route out of the backfield. At the snap, the Cardinals are rotating into cover 68 invert with the safety driving on the middle of the field. Purdy wanted Ayuk pre-snap on his slant, but this is what makes him so good. He sees the rotation of the safety, doesn't put the ball in harm's way, and moves off the double slant and works backside and hits McCaffrey on the choice route. Again, from the end zone, watch Purdy work the process. You're seeing such consistent good work from Purdy. The only incompletion of the day was on a 3rd and forever after a coverage sack. We're trying to hit McCaffrey on a choice out when Trent Williams had a rare instance of getting beat on a rush. So after coming back out from the only drive that didn't end in a touchdown, we get another explosive to Ayuk. I have been so impressed with Purdy's accuracy in anticipation and vision. We're running a play we like to run against some of these matching coverages. The Cardinals are looking like they're in cover 3 zone, being that it's 1st and 10 and a run down. So we're going to go play action and run heat. You'll have Kittle running what's called a Miami route. It's going to look like a high crosser and sit down over the middle, and have Ayuk on a deep post. And you'll have Juice on an over route. As Purdy comes out of the fake, he sees the deep corner match Kittle's Miami route and knows he'll have Ayuk into space. Look at where Ayuk is when Purdy is in his windup, and look at the placement of this throw, leading Ayuk away from the safety. It's a 34-yard gain through the air. We then get a screen pass to Ronnie Bell. Then we get a nice gain to Christian McCaffrey. We start out by motioning Juice across, and with a man traveling, it reveals man coverage. There ends up being a little bust here. The Cardinals are playing back out to their side with the linebackers, and that means the linebacker not covering McCaffrey will be a lurk. Because McCaffrey was in the pistol, there's late recognition. But again, Purdy's vision just seems to always see this stuff, and he throws a perfect pass to McCaffrey in stride. Next, we hit Juice for a short gain. So we bring Kittle in motion, and with no one traveling, reveal zone coverage. We're going to run a spacing concept again. Arizona actually comes with some pressure with a fire zone blitz. Kittle ends up open on this, but I can see why we work the spacing versus a single high zone. Purdy reads the hook, who jumps on Debo, so now he throws the flat route. So you're seeing how Purdy is working the same plays, but throwing to different spots based upon the coverage of the defense. He doesn't just predetermine his throws. Then on the first play of the 4th quarter, we get a first down and nearly get a touchdown. We first shift McCaffrey out, and Arizona is showing a pressure look with man coverage. We're going to run a play we saw earlier. We hit Jordan Mason. We have a clearing route with McCaffrey on a choice out, and then an arches concept. Purdy sees the pressure and man coverage, so he's going to McCaffrey on the choice out for the first down. Again, you're seeing the same plays, different results with different coverages. So next drive we come up with 5 straight runs and are now in 3rd and 4, and we get another big gain to Brandon Ayuk. We're going to have a stick concept to the 3 receiver side, and the Cardinals are showing cover 3 Mabel, which is a combo coverage. M being an M word for man, so it's a matching zone to the 3 receiver side with the single receiver in man coverage, usually bump and run. Purdy sees this, and Ayuk is on an alert fade and makes a heck of a back shoulder throw to Ayuk. You cannot throw this ball any better, and big props to Ayuk on this catch. These two are forming a really special connection that is taking this offense to the stratosphere. Then, a couple plays later, we get another first down on 3rd and 7. We start out by motioning McCaffrey out, and a corner covers him. This makes it look like zone, but then there's a check here by Arizona. I can't say for 100% what their check was, but it looks like they man up McCaffrey and McLeod while playing a 4-over-3 zone on the 3 receiver side and a 3 receiver hook player. We have a China concept with McLeod on an out route and McCaffrey on an now route. This is the same play we ran for Ronnie Bell's first touchdown last week. Purdy sees the coverage, and again, look at the anticipation. He's getting this ball out right on time for the first down. This sets up Purdy's sneak for a touchdown. Well, there it is, Purdy's record-setting day. Hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to hit the notifications bell to be alerted to when a video goes live. Also, a huge thank you to our Patreon community for supporting the channel. You are the backbone of this channel. I do apologize for the video coming out so late last week on Patreon. Had some uploading problems there. If you'd like to support the channel in any way, I'll have links for that below. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and go Niners.